So, what is nuclear energy? Nuclear energy is the process from which the physical properties of the atom can be used as the generators of heat and electricity. This was discovered in the first half of the 19th century, as the result of several investigations led by scientists around the globe. It is currently one of the main providers of our world's energy, having more than 31 countries operating the use of more than 431 facilities. And how does this type of energy works? Nuclear energy is obtained from the atom. Inside an atom there are several subatomic particles, crucial for this process to take place. Here we've got positively charged particles named protons. Along with protons we also got neutrons. These are neutral charged particles that remain in the nucleus of the atom. Finally, there are electrons. These tiny negatively charged subatomic particles orbit the nucleus of the atom. In order to get nuclear energy, the nucleus of the atom composed by protons and neutrons needs to be bombed by another subatomic particle. This process, known as fission, makes the atom divide into smaller pieces and release great amounts of energy. For what is nuclear energy used? Nuclear energy is currently used as a method of generating electricity, composing around 13% of the world's electric demand. Although its main use is the creation of electrical energy, nuclear fission also has a counterpart. Several countries have used the knowledge learned from nuclear fission as a method of generating mass destruction weapons. Which countries possess these deadly weapons? All around the world there are only 9 countries that possess nuclear weapons, having an arsenal of about 20,000 weapons worldwide, 12,000 of them being active weapons. The main possessor of nuclear weapons is Russia, having a decreasing arsenal of about 5,800 active weapons. This list is followed by the United States, having a decreasing amount of active weapons, currently having 5,700. After, there is France, who possesses a decreasing amount of 350 active weapons. In the next place is China, currently increasing its arsenal of more than 200 active warheads. Later is the United Kingdom, possessing 200 active weapons and reducing its amount. Continuing, we've got Israel, who has an increasing nuclear arsenal of about 200 active warheads, although it has not been announced by the government as a possessor of these weapons. Then is India, who possesses an increasing amount of more than 45 active weapons. The next one is Pakistan, that possesses more than 40 and increasing active weapons. Finally there is North Korea, who has less than 10 nuclear weapons with increasing priorities. In the list, it's worth noting the current situation of 2 countries. South Africa, which possessed nuclear weapons, has banned each and every one of them. Meanwhile, Iran is going nuclear by developing the controversial nuclear program. What can we do in this matter? The United Nations and other NGOs are giving most of their efforts to save the world from a nuclear catastrophe, with successful accomplishments. We also have done several protests and movements worldwide, known as the anti-nuclear movement. This peaceful manifestations increase as people take into account the risks of the nuclear world, and thus in peaceful manifestations, such as the one we are seeing in Japan, civilians like us show our point of view to the governments. In Germany there were also recent nuclear protests against the developing of nuclear energy. Unfortunately, these protests turned violent.
After a brief battle, set them running. Entire families came to mark the passing of the last nuclear waste shipment from France. Chancellor Angela Merkel announced the end of nuclear power by 2022 earlier this year, but the demonstrators still felt they had a point to make.